Okay, hi everybody. It's Dave Wiggins here. I've got a couple more guests for you on this evening. I've got a couple of players this week. One is probably very well known to us now. He's spoken on here before, and he's done various question and answer sessions at We Are Ports evenings and things like that. And one is probably more of a new recruit, and hopefully we'll get to know him a little bit more tonight. So first up, we've got Mr. Conal McGrandles. How are you, Conal?
Not too bad, Dave. Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. You keeping all right?
Dead on, mate. You're looking well anyway.
Oh, thanks very much. That's nice. Listen, I have to apologise to you because I mentioned your name in an interview a couple of weeks ago, and I called you McGrandles, and that's definitely not right.
Mate.
I know.
It's not right.
I know. It's Handles McGrandles. That's how we know.
It's Handles.
Good stuff. I'll talk to you a bit more in a minute.
Fella with love handles.
What'd you say?
I'm the only skinny fella about with love handles.
Happy days. Okay, this evening then, joining us from South Manchester, we've got Portadown goalkeeper Ben Pearce. Hi Ben, how are you?
Hey Dave, how's things?
Yeah, doing well. How are you keeping?
Yeah, as good as we can, mate. What about yourself?
Yeah, doing well, doing all right. It's the hottest day of the year so far, and the three of us are stuck inside in our offices talking to each other, but that's all right. Hopefully it'll not last too long and we can get outside for an hour.
Back to normality.
Back to normality. So listen, I've got some questions for you guys tonight. We'll have a little bit of a chat. I've got some questions in from a few Portadown supporters as well. As you can imagine, those will be very sensible questions. Actually, one of them is sensible. And then I've got a little quiz for you as well. And hopefully there'll be a bit of crack too. So, Conal, you're in Belfast there, are you? I don't know, these dodgy earbuds that Conal got off the back of a van somewhere, I don't think they're working very well, but we'll power on through. Like, how's the internet connection up that way?
My dad must have the magnet on. I'm going to take it off here.
I don't know. Let it run free. You can pay the bill this month, surely. Conal's gone. Oh, he's back.
I'm back, am I?
You're back, you're doing well. Good.
Conal,
how have you enjoyed this?
Now he's gone.
Right, Ben, forget about Conal. It's just you and me. How are you getting on? So you're based in South Manchester, Ben?
Yeah, just literally about 20 miles south of Manchester.
Okay. And have you always lived around that general area, or?
Yeah, no. I've lived there all my life with my mum, my dad, and obviously my brother. So it's always been home since I was born, basically.
Yeah, very good. I mean, since you were born, it wasn't that long ago. You're still quite young, aren't you? 21, is that right?
Yeah, 21 last September. So still a baby. And actually, to be fair, in the Portadown squad, one of the babies in the squad.
I know. I think boys who are 25, like Conal, what are you, 25, 26, Conal?
I'm 26, mate. I know, don't look it, but I'm 26.
No, you definitely do look it, and the way you're trying to operate that mobile phone, you're proving yourself to be getting you. So Ben, yes.
I got these.
You should have left them with them. Very good. So, yes, so Ben, you've lived along there, South Manchester, for a long time, and you're 21. So you've arrived over at Portadown this season after, I guess, coming up through youth academy system in England, some of the clubs around Manchester, and then West Bromwich Albion with a pro contract. So tell us a wee bit about your football progression, would you?
So it all basically, like, since the age of 5, I've always wanted to be a goalkeeper. I've been one of those rare breeds that literally, when you're a kid, all you want to do is score goals and run round. And thankfully for me, I was the only one that decided to put a pair of goalkeeping gloves on.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that's where it all started, and then started off at Man City. Then sort of at a young age, moved on through the academies to Everton, then to Man United, then went back to Everton as a scholar, and then finally signed a pro contract at West Brom, which was obviously the goal since I was about 5 and 6. So that was always good. And then had 2 great years there. Then through different circumstances, obviously, and different situations, it meant I didn't get a contract renewal, which was fine. It's part of football. But thankfully, come the end of January, Portadown came knocking, and it was an opportunity I'm really glad I took, and it came around.
Yeah, and yeah, we're glad you took it as well, because you've helped us well for the rest of the season up until things ended football wise. Anyway, did you know anything about Portadown before you came over, or how did that come about?
No, so it all came about. I obviously didn't know much about Portadown. I knew about the Northern Ireland League because one of my very good friends, Shane Radley, plays for Linfield. Okay. So I knew of the Irish League, but I didn't know too much about it. And it all came about, to be fair. I was literally it was on the Tuesday night, and I was literally just about to head out for a run. And my phone goes, and it was my agent who basically said that literally the urgent, Portadown interested in you, sort of gave all the details, and literally fast forward 24, 48 hours, I was in Portadown, training with the lads on the Thursday night, ready to play against Knockbreda on the Saturday.
You said Knockbreda like a true Englishman there, when really it's Knockbreda, but that's okay.
Knockbreda.
We'll allow you that. I used to sell plastic housewares for a company based outside Manchester, but I always remember the girl in the office. There's a place not too far from here called McGabry, and she used to call it Magaberry, which always gave me a good laugh, but that's all right. That's all right. So listen, I think I was down watching your first training session, and I remember it was a bitterly, bitterly cold night down at Annie United's pitch, isn't that right?
Yeah, the snood and the woolly hat was definitely on at the start of that session.
Yeah, absolutely. So Conal, Ben arrived down then, and you guys obviously were all heartbroken because your first love, Bobby Edwards, had shipped off back to America, and then Ben appeared on the scene. So
Ben's sloppy seconds.
I'd say you've had a few of those. I'd say you've had a few of those as well. Anyway.
No chance.
Conal, so you arrived at Portadown at the start of this season, is that right?
Yep, that's right.
That was from Warren Point.
I was Tippy semi at Warren Point 2 years ago,
Right.
and then he left, and then I stayed another year at Warren Point. Contract was up at the end of the season, and the manager didn't offer me a new one, so spoke to Tippy and he got me down, and I really enjoyed that season early.
Yeah, obviously, you've moved on to bigger and better things at Portadown. Like, how have you found the season so far, Conal? Have you enjoyed it? Has there been frustrations? Obviously, you know, there was periods when you were in the team every week, and there was maybe periods where you were in and out of it a wee bit. And obviously, you love playing. You're a footballer. How have you felt overall this season?
Good. No, like at the start of the season, I think the first 2 or 3 games, I didn't even get onto the bench. Never mind, you know what I mean, playing. So yeah. I was starting to go like, why did he bring me down? That he's not using me. And then I think we get beat at home to someone. I forget who it was. And then I just knew the following week would be that was going to be my first game. Like I think it was Knockbreda away, and we beat them 5-0. I played centre midfield, and then after that, I think I played the next 15 odd games.
Yeah. And
then just the way it goes, I came out of the team. We George, Stevie, Taggart, and Luke were doing well. So we were winning games. So he'd no reason to change the team. But me being me, I never went and really knocked on his door or nothing like that. I knew what the crack was, so I knew I would get my chance again. So I just, you know what I mean? There's no point being a pain in the backside, like if you don't need to be. If the team's winning, I'm happy, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the diplomatic answer. Well done. And what do you think? Do you think we're going to get back to football, Conal, or do you think that's the season done?
I think it's done.
Yeah.
I think it's done because, like, I just heard there when I get back from work that the Premier League is going back to the 17th of June.
Yeah.
So is that going to be behind closed doors to take it? Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe even some neutral venues as well. Is that right?
I'm not sure, like, but they can afford to do that. We can't. We rely on money coming through the gate. You know, I just can't see it happening.
Yeah.
I wish it did. Like, I haven't kicked the ball in weeks. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't put my boots on in weeks. I've just been out running the roads, like, and it's starting to do my head in, you know.
I thought you'd be so dedicated you'd be going to bed with your studs on, like. No?
Nah, mate, honestly, this is the longest I've ever went without kicking a ball. The longest I've ever went without kicking a ball. But you know yourself, when I go back, I won't take me long getting back into it.
That's it. And you're looking fit. You're still looking fresh. You're obviously looking after yourself a wee bit.
That's it, mate. I haven't touched the drink in 2 months.
Good man.
Now that I don't believe. I don't believe. Conal and Paddy took me first night out in Belfast, and trust me, I know that's rubbish.
First night the pub open, the boys were out, I would say. So Ben, you're coming from, you know, you'd signed a professional contract in England, West Brom. That must have been a big highlight in your career. That's the goal, isn't it, to become a professional full-time footballer?
Yeah, no, definitely. For me, it was sort of everything that I was sort of working towards from the academy, through all the academy stages and all that sort of stuff. That's what the main goal was. And obviously to get that, it was sort of a tick in the box. But then you've then got to set yourself another challenge, another goal so it's then get yourself another pro contract on top of that. And then it's get playing games, get yourself as a number one somewhere. And that's how I sort of look at it. I just sort of keep setting myself goals and targets that I want to keep hitting. Yeah. And then before you know it, hopefully, come the end of a career, I can turn around and look at it back with really fond memories and sort of had achieved quite a lot.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a goalkeeper called Mickey Keenan?
Mickey Keenan? I can't honestly say I can't. And I know that being a Portadown player, that's obviously something that.
Don't worry. It's a long time ago, but I was thinking there. You're 21, and Mickey Keenan played for Portadown in the European Cup at the age of 46. So you could still have 25 years of a career left. So I guess, you know, there's plenty.
So if I'm still playing in goal at 46, then I'll have beaten Buffon. So I think that's some achievement in itself.
I know. So, and don't give me your diplomatic answer in this one. So, you know, you're playing professionally in England. You're coming over to play for Portadown. We're a part-time, semi-professional club. We've got aspirations of getting into the top division and winning trophies again. And one of the questions that came in from one of the supporters was, where does Ben see himself next season? Now, obviously, next season's up in the air. But is there, at the back of your head, could you see yourself playing for Portadown again? Or is the goal to get back to full-time professional football in England? Or
no, for me, I could definitely see myself having another season in goal for Portadown quite easily. I've had numerous phone calls with Tippy and obviously Peter Hunniford. And I can honestly turn around and say that I can't fault or I don't have a bad word to say about anyone at Portadown. Even just in the first 2 months I've been here, literally the club's welcoming and all that sort of stuff. So for me, I could honestly happily see myself playing at Portadown next season. Obviously, the goal is to get back into full-time.
A minute, lads.
Full-time football. But for me, the next step in my career is getting game time, getting minutes under my belt. Yeah. Obviously, injuries over the last couple of years have prevented me from getting them minutes. Mm-hmm. So for the fact that I could play 5-6 games before we hit this pandemic, and then next season, if I could play a whole season of games and get that under my belt, then for me that's a success either way.
Yeah, good. Okay. Listen, we appreciate that you came in. It was probably, I imagine it was a big step for you, you know, getting on an airplane and coming to Portadown and just thinking to yourself, I'll give this a go and see what happens, really.
No, definitely. It was something different. I honestly, when it all came about, it wasn't something that I planned. But the good thing is about football is that football works in very weird ways. You could be not hearing anything, and then all of a sudden something comes out of nowhere, and that's what happened with Portadown. It was literally just, it came out of nowhere, and I'm glad that I took the opportunity. And yeah, as I say, it was different. It was something that I hadn't probably looked into at all beforehand, but now I've done it, and as soon as I came over, I got to know all the lads, and literally it's a great squad we've got there, and that shows in the league. And I obviously had another sort of big task in terms of I had to follow in the footsteps of Bobby. Now, when I got there, I knew, and I did research. Once I knew I was coming, I did research into Portadown and into the squads and stuff like that. And I obviously saw that Bobby was a real good asset to the team, getting to helping them get to where they were in the table. Yeah. So for me, it was sort of, I knew I had to sort of come in, and even though there wasn't much pressure, because you don't have to compare yourself to Bobby, you still have to sort of bring the same quality and try and bring the same performances as he did. So it was pressure in a different way, not so much trying to prove yourself in terms of comparing yourself to Bobby. It was more so proving yourself in terms of keeping on and following on from what Bobby's done in the first, I think it was 20 something games, I think it was. Yeah, absolutely. And I think some of our female supporters were also pretty upset whenever Bobby left as well, you know, tall, dark hair, blue eyes. Well, but to be honest, to be fair, Ben, you've walked in there and replaced him, no problem. I don't see the ladies in any rush to leave the boardroom on a Saturday afternoon, so that's good. Listen, I've heard that there's been more lady members join. So for me, I think it's a winner all round. That's good. That's good. Don't tell me you misses that though. No, absolutely not.
Ben, you've got a missus, don't you?
Yeah.
Aye. When's she coming over?
She's looking forward to the next time she came up. She did the PSNI game away, and obviously I said to her that wasn't really a good representation of it, because there was no sort of interaction after the game. I said we'll get her over there for a home game, and then I'll be sure to introduce her to big man Conal and big man Paddy.
Yes, definitely. Look forward to it.
Ben, I'll be honest, I don't think you've any danger there at all, so that'll be all right.
Aye, good man.
So, Conal, a question came in for you then, which is obviously probably the most important question of the night, is what's your favourite tune to play on the trumpet?
On the trumpet.
Obviously, you know, middle of the season, you developed this love for the trumpet.
That's it. I don't. It was the Ards game when the fella had the trumpet. And I seen it and I went, so I'm just going to grab this here. So I just grabbed it and started running about with it. So every time I seen it, I had to go for it, you know.
Yeah. But you just grabbed this trumpet and away you went.
The best tune on the trumpet definitely has to be Baker Street.
Yeah.
By Jerry something. I don't know his second name.
I'm not clue.
But I bang that out sometimes Saturday night out in the garden. The neighbours like to listen to me. You know the way people go out at 8 o'clock to clap for the NHS? People come out at 8 o'clock on a Saturday to listen to me playing Baker Street.
Very good. So basically now, anytime there's a goal and you're on the pitch, it doesn't matter if you've scored it or not. Your eyes are looking for the trumpet, basically.
That's it. I don't even care who scores. I'm looking in the crowd for the trumpet.
Right.
We're gonna have to put it somewhere, so I just know where to go every time.
Well, Neil Grant, who has the trumpet and the drum and everything, I think he loves the fact that you've had a go on it. So that's good.
I've still not witnessed this firsthand yet. I'm intrigued to see when I get to witness this firsthand.
So, Ben, how many games did you actually play for us then before everything stopped there?
I think it was 5. And the debut was not the breeder.
Yeah.
I've got that one right this time.
Yeah.
And then the last game was PSNI. So, yeah, I think 5 games it was.
Yeah. Good. Ben, one of the questions that came in was, what did you think when you first walked into the changing room and you heard conversations and looked around? What did you think?
What was that, mate? Sorry.
When you first walked into the changing room at Shamrock Park and you looked around and you heard conversations, what was going through your head?
I was thinking, where have they sent me? Nah, to be fair, literally, as soon the first time, obviously, I got into the dressing room on that Thursday night, I was actually one of the first ones there because Tippy picked me up from the airport, and I obviously went to the training with him and his lad, and the assistant Dave. So we were I was the first one in the dressing room, so it wasn't like I was coming in and all the boys were already there. So it was more so. The funny thing was when all the lads come into the dressing room and sort of look over, saying, "Who's this guy?" Because
we actually brought another keeper in between Bobby and your. What's the guy's first name? I forget. The guy who was at Celtic.
Oh, Aidan.
Aidan, yeah. So Aidan had come in and then got injured or whatever. But whenever he came in the first night, I saw him walking up the corridor, and obviously he's a professional footballer as well, so probably earning a bit more money than some of the boys. So walking up the corridor with his nice suitcase and his nice gear on, and I watched him going in through the door of the changing room, and I thought, hope that fella doesn't leave any of his gear sitting around.
I was eyeing up his Gucci wise bag.
Were you? Happy day.
I have to keep my IKEA bag, Conal, don't I? Safe from you.
Aye.
So,
Ben, did you understand the accents when you came into the changing room?
Yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. To be fair, because Shane, who plays for Linfield, I lived with at Everton for 2 years, so I sort of, me and him used to have banter, sort of the Irish accent, and I used to give him stick, and he used to give me stick. So I sort of got used to sort of hearing it on a daily basis. So it wasn't too bad. Sometimes you do get lost, and sometimes you hear stuff and you think, don't know what you've just said then, but we'll carry on going.
Good, because that's a nice little segue and leads us on to a quiz I want to do with you guys tonight. So previously I've asked you, so Ben, Manchester, Conal, North Belfast, worlds apart, and I thought what we could do is, obviously we all speak the same language, but there are definitely variations in things that we say and phrases that we use, or slang words and things like that. So I've asked you guys to maybe pick 5 phrases each that might fool the other person. I'm looking around. I don't have a prize. What I'll do for your prize, whoever wins can have a We Are Ports water bottle. That's something that money can't buy.
Game on.
I'm really going for us now.
I tell you, you've not got a chance, mate. You've not got a chance.
Okay. So we've got five phrases each, and we'll go one at a time. Okay. So Conal, heads or tails?
Tails never fails.
I'll do.
There's another one for you, Ben.
Okay, tails it is. Conal, you can start. Give Ben a phrase there.
So, you could say up in Belfast, we would say, I'm scundered, or I am scundered for you.
There you go, Ben. What does I'm scundered mean?
Jesus Christ. Scundered.
I'm scundered for you, for example.
Is it something along the lines of like, I've got the hots for you or something like that?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Conal, what would I'm scundered for you mean then?
So, I'm scundered means like I'm embarrassed, or if you say I'm scundered for you, you're like you're embarrassed for someone.
Yeah, it means embarrassed, really. I'm scundered. I'm scundered for you. Or I'm
Well, I'm miles off that one.
okay, Ben, go for it then.
Let's see.
Right, here one. You get out for now.
Out for now. I don't know. Is it about something about going out for a drink? Like going out?
Is that his answer?
That's his
Final
answer.
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 Nope.
What's it
You
mean?
cannot get something for nothing.
Tell us it again, Ben. Say it slower for us.
You can't get something for nothing.
I get
I
something.
understand. I heard that bit.
There you go. Nice. I like it. I like it. Okay, Conal, second one.
So, on a sunny day, so, for example, like today, I like to go and get myself a poke.
I've got to be careful. I've got to be careful with the answer here, I think.
So, Conal, give us that again. You going for a poke?
Yeah, I love going for a poke. Or I like. I was going to say something else there, but
Ben, what do you reckon? Any ideas? Now he said on a sunny day like this. That's a bit of a clue, I reckon.
I like to. Sunbathe.
No.
Right, Conal. What's the answer then?
So, now I know. Now we say poke in Belfast. I don't know about like down Portadown if it's something else. But
No,
it's like an ice cream cone. It's an ice cream cone.
Yeah, an ice cream cone is called a poke.
So.
Nice. Okay, Ben, finish your second one.
Right. So you'd say if you're out and you were with someone, you could say this you'd say you're snide.
You're what?
You're snide.
Snide? Right.
Yeah.
Does it mean like? It sounds like you're trying to say like you're a snake. Like you're a snake. You're fly.
Nah.
What's it
Tight.
mean?
You're tight.
Tight.
Right. So what's that? Snide. Snide means tight.
Snide means tight.
Dead on.
I have to let you in this secret. I know the answers to the Manchester ones because I did Google Manchester phrases, and you can look up the top 10 phrases you must learn if you're going to Manchester. And snide was on that, so nice one. Okay, Conal, give Ben another one there. Third
one. So you could say to someone, "Give us a juke at that."
Give us a what?
Give us a juke at that.
Juke, like jukebox?
Yeah, give us a juke at that.
Something along the lines of like, give us a shot of it, or give us a pint of it.
Nah, unlucky, big lad. You're wrong again.
Fill me in.
So it means basically to say, like, give us a look at it. Let me have a look at it.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely know where you say that, Conal.
What?
I definitely know where you're using that.
Oh, God.
So I need to let Jess know?
Or you can say, would you like a juke at this?
Do you fancy a wee juke at that?
Oh, right.
So Ben, you're not out of 3 so far. Conal's not out of 2. Give him another one there.
Right. One sec, where is it? So this one, so you. This is a family show I got, but you could say this as in, "You're my cock."
You're my cock. Okay. I thought we were keeping this PG.
Conal's in shock.
This was actually put on. This was actually put on request by Dave. This one.
You're my cock. Like, you're my good friend.
Wow, he actually got it. He actually got it.
Yep.
Yeah. So give us a phrase in pure Manchester, including the word cock, then, Ben.
What you did. So I could say, Conal, you're a good cock of mine.
Yeah, very good. I like it.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Don't
obviously.
cut yourself.
Excellent. Hey, listen, if you watch Coronation Street, you probably would have got that.
Nah, mate, no time for that.
I know. Okay, Conal, give us another one.
Right,
Conal,
so
this
this is I don't know if this is a phrase everybody uses, like, but up in Belfast, you could say, if your granny had balls, she'd be your granda.
this whole interview's taking a turn for the worse.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Go
So
ahead,
what
Ben.
does it mean, Ben?
So what does that one mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If your granny had balls, she'd be your granda.
Yeah, there's one like that. There's a saying like that over it. It's basically for someone that sort of says hypothetically, or sort of, oh, if that would have happened, or if this happened, or if that would have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll give him that, Conal, will we?
Aye. Up one.
Good stuff. It's one each. It's one each at the minute here. But Ben, give Conal another one. This is his fourth one.
So this one you'd say, so for if you were out and you'd say, that's a bit hard. You could say it in terms of, I'm buzzing.
Buzzing?
Buzzing.
I'm buzzing. Does that not mean just the same thing as over here? Like I'm buzzing for the game. I'm up for it. Like I can't wait. I'm excited.
Right,
for
well,
it.
if that's the same over there, then I'll pick a different one. If that's the
Nah,
same.
here, no, here. Listen, you can't backtrack. Here.
If that's the same as one over there.
You should have done your homework like I've done.
Does it mean the same thing, Ben? I'm buzzing.
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic, yeah. Listen, I'm going to give Conal that one. That's
Fair
definitely.
enough.
Here, listen. You have to listen. There's no two ways about it. It's his fault.
Dead on. That's okay. Listen, the last quiz that Conal was part of, I cheated him out of the win there, so I'm kind of giving the benefit of the doubt. Conal, give Ben his last one.
Right. So you could say this about a fella or a girl. So you could say he or she didn't have the best bake, but he or she had a good hoop.
So you're gonna have to repeat that one.
Nice and slow and clear.
So you could say he or she didn't or doesn't have a great bake, but they do have a great hoop.
Good one.
I have to be really careful what I give as answer, I think.
Oh God!
Be far away, but it is a family show.
Conal's setting me up here, isn't he? So he's setting me up for the.
What he said is they don't have a good bake, but they do have a good hoop.
He's probably going on Google.
I know. There's something I want to say, but I know for a fact it's not that.
Just say it, mate. Go with what your heart's telling you.
But you said it's about if it was about a girl, I'd 100% go for this one.
Listen.
Probably
The one
about
we
girl,
live in, who
Conal.
or she?
Is it something about? Something like they've got a nice face or something.
Yeah, they don't have a nice face, but they've got a nice what?
Body. They've got a nice body. They don't have a nice face, but they've got a nice body.
Yeah, I'm going to give them that.
Hold on here. That's well. Nah, that's not really right.
Well, it's like 2/3 of a point. I'm going to give it to him because then it makes it more interesting.
Dead on.
Tell him the interpretation of that then properly.
So he or she again. It means that they mightn't have the best looking face, but they have a good looking bum or ass, whatever it was.
See, I knew it was going to be one of them, but I thought I was thinking I know one of them's going to be bum or ass, but I was still, what's the other one? What's the other one going to be?
Listen, I'm giving you a point for that. It's 2 each. And
Right.
the last one goes down to Conal. Conal, if he gets this, it's for the win. If he doesn't get it, we're maybe into a tie-break situation. So go for it, Ben.
Right. So you could say to someone. So if Conal said something to me, I could say to him, "Give your head a wobble."
Give your head a wobble.
Yeah.
That means like if someone says something stupid, you say, "Dead on, mate. Give your head a wobble."
What does it mean, though?
Like
You need to have a rethink.
I basically wise up, or I think again.
Yeah, Ben, that's one of our phrases as well, mate. I have to say, take your head for a wobble or give your head a wobble. So,
I've never heard that myself, to be honest.
have you not? That's lies.
Nah.
Right, listen, I'm going to declare Conal McGrandles the winner of the interpretation quiz by 3-2. So, well done. Enjoyed that. Hopefully, Conal, you've learned a bit about Manchester. Ben, you've learned a bit about Belfast there. Well done.
Well, you want me to send you my address for the water bottle?
Nah, mate, we'll just throw it off and I'll throw it up to you at the club sometime when you're back training.
Dead on it.
He's definitely not going to let you forget about that one, Dave.
I'm buzzing.
In the last quiz, I gave Chris Lavery the Player of the Month for April for winning his quiz, but to me, a We Are Ports water bottle more valuable.
That's it, mate.
I know. So listen, I think I've more or less run out of questions for you guys. I've got my supporters' questions done. Talk about personal ambitions. Ben, you could see yourself back at Portadown next season if the opportunity was right and if things worked out that way. Unless you
definitely.
Unless you get a better offer, of course.
No, as I say, I could definitely see it. I'm very settled there. I enjoy all the lads. They're all a great bunch of lads. So it's not like there's many things that are turning you away. Yeah. So I'd be more than happy to play back at Shamrock Park next season, and hopefully once we know what's happening with this season, we can then focus on putting together a good campaign next season. And fingers crossed we can go up as champions, whether that be the season being concluded, which I'd find very, very hard to believe. But if the season is cancelled and cut short, hopefully we will sort of go up like we deserve, because I think the season, especially before I came in, I think the boys have played magnificently all season. So for me, once we know what's happening with this season, I think we can then all sort of focus on what's going to happen next season, and if we're in the Premier League, try and stay in the Premier League and try and finish as high as we can. Yeah, cool. Have you been doing a bit of training in the backyard, like picking a ball off the wall and going left, going right? Is that something you've been doing, or has it been more running and stuff like that? Yeah, no, I've been doing a lot of running and cycling. I've been trying to match and beat big man over there in the midfield. I've tried to see if I can cover as much distance as he had. Those goalkeepers can move at times. Conal, are you top of the pile on the running? Full.
I think I might have been for a while there. They were calling me Mo McGrandles.
I'm sure I picked into it. I'm sure, if I remember rightly, I picked into it.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'll let him have first place in this in We Are Ports quiz. I'll take first place on Adidas running.
Dave, I wasn't going to do this to him, but do what he told me he was doing. He told me he had the phone and he was putting it on his dog's collar. And it was on the dog. I get this dog to do laps in the park.
Yeah, nice. I like it. Totally, you've absolutely told a porky pie or dropped him right in it there. I don't know.
No, mate, honestly, I wouldn't lie like that.
Guys, listen, I really appreciate your time tonight. Good to get to know you both a little bit more. Ben, whenever I see you, I'll give you a We Are Ports water bottle as well. Because
thanks, Dave.
I appreciate you coming on.
So all my hard work was for nothing, so he's just going to get the same.
Do you want a badge as well, Conal? Do you want to be badge?
Mate, send me something else up.
You can have a badge and a water bottle, and Ben can have a water bottle.
Lads, apologies as well for the way my thing kept going off the earphones. Lee Bonus sold me them, and I'm going to have a word with him because one of them doesn't even work, and then the other one just died halfway through. So, just putting that out there. If anyone thinks it was me, it was Lee Bonus's fault.
How much did you pay for them? Because he told me he bought them for $1.99 B&M bargains.
He sold me them for he ripped me off. That's all I'm saying.
Good stuff, lads. Listen, we'll leave it there. Hopefully see you both back at Shamrock Park soon, and hopefully at some stage we can have an end of season dinner and have a drink and celebrate a league title, which will be lovely, and that's what we all want. So listen, take care of yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
No, thanks, Dave.
No worries.
Thanks, Dave. Cheers. Stay safe, mate.